Hello and welcome again to Talk of the Terrace with me, your host, Mike McPhail. And as always, I'm joined by my good friend, Harvey Carter Hill. Harvey, how are you doing this week?
I'm all right, mate. I'm good. I made the most of the restrictions easing and pulled my groin trying to play 11 aside. So that was good fun. But yeah, I'm good, mate. How have you been?
Yeah, I've been good, mate. It's been a while. It feels like we haven't done one of these in ages. We haven't even spoke.
8 days.
Well, not just that, we haven't spoken the past week, really, have we? Both been busy. So.
Yeah, I've put in a ton of overtime and
you have.
mate, it's been knackering. It's been tiring.
But we're bringing you the podcast. It's a day later than we normally do, but it's still here. First things first, though, before we go into that, let's just talk quickly about Chelsea becoming the most successful English team in the Champions League, right? At getting to the semi-final stage. Not quite winning it, but we've overtaken Manchester United. We've got to 8 semi-finals now, Harv, and I think we're going to win it. Do you know who I said a couple of weeks ago when we said the Champions League, who we thought was going to win and who we thought was going to get to the final? I just think Chelsea are going to win it. Back then, I was like, oh, yeah, I only changed my mind due to all the people saying, oh, it's a Chelsea podcast. But I'm a Chelsea fan, and we look so good at the back. And Bayern Munich are out now, so it's...
do you know what? I can't remember. How do the games play out? Who do you get next?
PSG will be playing Man City or Dortmund, and Chelsea will have the easy task of Liverpool or Madrid, two poor teams.
Well, I think... if whoever gets through out of City and Dortmund, I think wins. I don't think PSG.
Okay, so Chelsea go through against Real Madrid or Liverpool. Who do you think goes through out of them? Do you still think it's... I think you had Real Madrid last time, didn't you?
Well, do you know what? I nailed the first game, didn't I? I nailed it 3-1. I did say I got the score bang on. I think I said Liverpool actually win it at home, maybe 1-0.
Yeah, maybe.
But still don't quite make it through. Yeah, I've got it somewhere, but I think I said they win 1-0, but don't go through.
Man
and I think it's still the same.
Final. Like, you think whoever wins out of them two, probably Man City, possibly. You think they go through past PSG, yeah?
Yeah. One thing I must say, how unlucky was Jude Bellingham with that disallowed goal?
That disallowed goal could be the decider in that match. But obviously, before we go into things, Harvey's got something to say. But before Harvey mentions something, I'm just going to say, obviously, the pubs are now back open here in beautiful Britain. But we can still offer you cheap beer. We can offer you 8 free beers from our friends over at Beer 52. Go over to beer52.com/terrace talk. Cover the postage of £5.95 and you get yourself 8 hand-picked craft beers from around the world. You get a magazine and you get snacks. Join their 170,000 active members. That's beer52.com/terrace talk. We've had a few friends, family already sign up. I've only had good things said. People are enjoying it. A few people have not only signed up, they've also said to me, I said to them, oh yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. And they said, yeah, I'm going to continue with my subscription. There's actually a couple of people I know that are going to continue their subscription. My granddad is one. He's someone that said, oh yeah, I'm interested in the next few rounds of beers. So yeah, that'll be good. But anyway,
that'll be good.
Well, say,
I don't know if you know what day it is or what day I wasn't, I didn't realise it was this day until only probably a few hours ago. And it's apparently International Goalkeeping Day.
Oh, really?
Wasn't sure if you was aware. But just on that, and I'm hitting you straight away with this.
Okay.
What's your most memorable save? Something that sticks in your mind and you think, wow, like unbelievable. I imagine that there's been plenty of Petr Cech ones. I will give you that.
Definitely, but like the way that we won the 2012 Champions League final against Bayern Munich, the penalty shootout, Petr Cech guessed correctly every single time.
Just that performance in that shootout was standout.
And obviously, is it Rene Higuita, the scorpion kick guy? Was he the one that
did
the scorpion kick?
Yeah, I think I believe so. Yeah,
I think that's probably the standout goalkeeper save, even though it was a shot from far away, and I believe the whistle had already blown for
I believe so.
Time or something, but it was
magical, wasn't it?
It was funny.
Just what yeah.
I don't know about a singular save. I mean, there's a few that I saw you make when we've been at 5-a-side tournaments.
Yeah. I mean, the one that sticks out for me, and I don't know whether that was the sort of thing that dragged me into doing my goalkeeping coaching badges and stuff like that. But you might remember this: David Seaman's save against Sheffield United.
I was gonna say David Seaman. I remember one.
Just like the way the ball had come across, he having to move his feet. Paul Pescisolido, we mentioned him last week. He had the header, I believe, and the ball was past David Seaman.
Yeah, he had to go back the other way, did he not? And then
back the other way and claw it back out. It was just one.
I remember that one specifically. Like you say, he was going one way and the ball's been headed back across him, and he's just managed to claw it.
Dive back and scoop it out.
It was just like slow motion. That was Matrix stuff. That because the way he's in midair, his legs are off the ground when he scooped the ball and thrown it back.
Oh yeah. It was something really, really magical. That was one just something always stood out about that save, and I just thought it was great. And just
but then you go back to the 2002 World Cup, was it, when Ronaldinho scored from the line when he pulled his back?
I watched him talk about that goal. I don't know if it was Paul Merson and that did a Euro tour. It was on ITV or something, and he mentions talking about that goal, and saying the ball didn't look like it was going where it was going, and by the time he judged the flight of the ball, it was already a bit too late, and he said he was just hoping it hit the bar. One of those things, I suppose. It's one of the loneliest positions to play, but you can become a hero and very quickly go from that to zero, can't you?
Exactly.
I must say, but big shout out to keepers, coaches, and all that. That it's such a tough job. Try to pull that position off and coach that position so hard and difficult. So big shout out to all the goalkeepers. I know
what would have been perfect today. We could have got Paul Bastock on.
Yeah, what a day! Yeah, that would have been some guest
to get Paul Bastock on, the legend of legends.
Yes, right. Yeah. But into the main topic, Mike. Do you want to tell everyone what it is?
Yeah, this week's main topic, we've done our best XI, so the best 11 we think has ever played the sport of football. But this time we're going for our favourite XI. So for all of you out there, we're not including Walsall and Chelsea players, teams that we support. Obviously, I can't expect you to be adding many Walsall players, or have you? You may have done, but
I've got one because he played at but he's a legend. Yeah.
But for me, I'm not allowed to choose any Chelsea players in my XI. Even the likes of Torres, who I loved before he joined Chelsea, Shevchenko, haven't included him. So I'm just going to quickly run through some of my favourite Chelsea players to get them out of the way with. I don't need to mention them in here. But if I could choose Chelsea players, the likes of Lampard and Terry and Cech and Drogba, Zola, Mount, Reece James, Torres, Aspie. I loved Aspie. Cudicini, Giroud. I loved Giroud at Arsenal before he was at Chelsea, when he was at Montpellier, and I watched him in the Liga. And I loved all them players. There's so many Chelsea players, but I can make a team without Chelsea players. That's for sure.
That's good. That's good to hear.
That's what I've
got. Good to hear. And we've also got a manager in there. I've picked a couple. Well, I've got 3 written down that will always sort of stand out to me for different reasons, and we can go over that as well. But start off with your goalkeeper, Mike, and what formation you've gone for in this, because it's a bit out there.
Well, I've gone for a 3-5-2, so 3 centre backs.
Oh, loading the midfield, are we?
3 centre backs, 2 of which aren't actually conventional centre backs.
Okay.
They're right back / CDM, and then the other one's a left back. My right mid, my left mid. I've got 3 centre mids who are very attacking centre mids. And then 2 strikers. But first off, in goal, I've got an Englishman half. And he's
me too. I've got an Englishman.
Yeah, he's one of my favourite English goalkeepers ever. I still love him. He doesn't play anymore. He does play for that dirty Tottenham Hotspurs.
Is it Blondie? Is he blonde?
He is blonde, and I've actually got 2 signed pictures of him from his England debut way back when.
Yes,
and it's my friend Joe Hart. I absolutely love Joe Hart. Look at them. 2 signed Joe Hart pictures.
Such a good goalkeeper.
I rate Joe Hart, and Yeah, I think he's been done dirty ever since Pep came to Man City. Obviously, he got left out because he's not the best with his feet. He's an old school conventional keeper, you know.
Mate, give me a
But I
guy
just
that
think
keeps the ball out of the net any day.
that's it. That's it. Like I rate Joe Hart still, and I think just some of the stuff I've seen him do, you know, on Soccer AM when he done that dance in his hotel room when he's in his tight underwear. Did you ever see that when he done his pencil dance
Yeah,
with like
yeah.
this? Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
So and every time I've seen him in interviews, I just think he's top quality. You know, he's
A
funny.
likable guy,
He's
really.
just a
Just
likable guy. Yeah,
how
I
can you
think
not
so anyway.
like him?
You know,
Yeah,
and I think
yeah.
that's why it's my favorite XI. And even if I could include Chelsea players, you know, I'd probably have the likes of I'd have Kudachini above Czech. You know, I've got a Kudachini jersey. I haven't got a Czech jersey,
That's
but
old school. Old
that is
school.
old school.
That is in
You know,
it. That
but
is.
yeah, Joe
But
Hart's my
yeah,
goalkeeper half
I
on
do love Joe
International
Hart.
Goalkeepers Day. What about yourself?
I've gone for he is a Warsaw legend. He holds the record appearance. He's a record appearance holder for us. But and I'm going to bring this up because I'm sure he'd love to know that people still talk about this. Your favourite midfielder ever in a Chelsea jersey is Frank Lampard. I think everyone's aware of that.
Of course,
This guy, when he
him and
played for
Mason Mount.
West Ham, yeah, this guy, Jimmy Walker, when he played for West Ham, he moved to West Ham and then played for Spurs. So even though he's probably about 5'9" with the old metal studs on, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying that, I love the guy, but how he made it as a keeper with his height was very unbelievable, and it shows how good a shot stopper he was.
Yeah,
That he could make it at the height he was. He actually saved a penno from your man Lampard in
not many
there.
people have done that.
I believe it was the League Cup.
Really?
I think, yeah, I think that, or the FA Cup, one of the two. He was playing for West Ham in goal anyway. He dived to his left. Lampard smashed it. He did smash it down the middle. And Jim hadn't gone too far to his left and managed to save it with his legs. I think the rebound might have gone in, but yeah, save a penno from Frank Lampard. I think you'd stick that on your resume for a goalkeeper, wouldn't you?
Oh, definitely.
I
Yeah.
think. But yeah, record appearance holder. Just watching him, I watched him a lot in the Championship. I know it's a bit of a step down from the Premier League, but the quality in there is still so high. Just being the height he was encouraged me to take up coaching, being able to help other keepers as well, which I think was really great to show someone that you could relate to. You know, you have keepers that are not as tall and like, oh, how do I make it? This was the guy that I would point everyone to.
Yeah.
His shot stopping ability was absolutely just incredible to watch. I've seen him in a playoff final. He stopped loads of goals going in there. That's something I can say. But yeah, just phenomenal and an all round great guy. A bit of a throwback in the areas where you go out drinking after the game.
Yeah.
That's he had that about him. Harry Redknapp spoke really highly about him. And I think that says a lot when a manager like that would say stuff about you. So yeah, he's my goalkeeper. I'll go with a right back now.
What was your formation? I can't remember if you mentioned your formation to us.
4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
And I've gone for every man's going to do a job in the position that they're in, and that's probably why I really liked them, because they just most of them are no nonsense until we get to the front line, and it's trickery, tricks, and making everyone look really silly. But at the back, I like my goalkeepers do just keep the ball out of the net, and I like my defenders to defend, and that's what I like about pretty much the back five, really, with the goalkeeper included. And my right back, I don't know why, but I really liked Zabaleta.
Yeah, he's a
I really
he
liked
seems like
him.
a proper likable guy as well.
Yeah, it was just so he could get forward, and he would get forward, especially in that City team. When I don't know how many leagues did he win? 2, possibly 3.
Possibly 3, but I don't know when he left.
Yeah,
2 to 3.
Yeah, and
3. But then even when he went to West Ham, he was still decent.
Yeah, made captain, wasn't he? And had a captaincy there as well. But I just liked the job he did. He just knew his job, didn't he? And he did his job, and he always seemed down to earth.
Yeah.
And he was, he'd always sort of seemed like he'd have time for interviews and people and fans. And I just love that side of footballers because you don't see it very often, do you? You don't some of them are just away from that
away
sort of
from
thing, don't
everything.
they? But yeah, I really love the job he did it right back, just always there, like a bit like Gary Neville, solid 7, 8 out of 10 every game, wouldn't he?
Cesar Azpilicueta.
Yeah, he's a good honourable mention. He's quite likable. You know, you hear the
Oh
stories.
yeah, I love Dave.
We can't say his name, so we call him Dave. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
just going from there, you never hear anything bad, do you, about a lot of these players?
I remember when he was in France.
Likeable.
I remember when he was in France, and I believe a radio host was like, "Oh, that's Cesar Azpilicueta," because he played for a rival team. I think he played for Marseille. And can't remember who this radio host supported, but he was like, "Oh, that Cesar Azpilicueta going to Chelsea is going to be a flop. He's going to be absolutely terrible. If he ever wins a Premier League there or does anything good, I'll eat a live frog or something, or a live rat." And then he went on to win a Premier League, and I actually think he had to eat one of these things. I can't remember what it was, but I remember hearing that, and it was quite funny.
Yeah, he was a good right back to watch as well. Yeah, he's up there as well. Yeah, but yeah, Zabaleta, I don't know, just
top quality choice.
Yeah, just a likable guy and just knows how to do his job, and that's how he makes it in there for me. What about you? What have you gone for?
So obviously, I've got 3 centre backs, and one is a conventional left back / left winger, who I've gone left centre back. The other one's a right back / CDM, but I'll go for the right back / CDM first, who I've got playing the right side of my back three. He is because I struggled to find defenders that I really truly like outside Chelsea, so I just needed to stack up with other positions. Who are you picking?
I think this might well be Philip Lahm.
Not quite. It's his protege.
Joshua Kimmich.
I love Joshua Kimmich ever since I saw him break onto the scene, because I loved Schweinsteiger and I loved Lahm, neither of which made my team, both on my honourable mentions list. But I got Kimmich in because as soon as Lahm left, he was a left back, he was a right back, he was everything you just said about Zabaleta. You know, true professional, gave 8 out of 10 every game minimum. He moved into CDM for Pep, and he was incredible. And then when he retired, how did they replace a player that was so good like that? And they did. They managed to get Joshua Kimmich. You know?
Yeah, pretty much like a like for like.
Basically the exact same player, but I think a little not as good defensively, but a lot better
on the ball.
Naturally, I think he's a better player, and going forward definitely. But I just think Joshua Kimmich is incredible, and I love watching the guy. You know, obviously they lost yesterday to PSG. And he said before the game, he was saying that they're definitely going to win. He's like, we may have lost in the first leg, but we will win and we'll go through. And then Neymar was celebrating with Paredes in front of Kimmich. So there's a picture of Kimmich there looking all disheveled. But they'll be back next year by Munich. They were missing, you know, Choupo-Moting is possibly the biggest downgrade in football from Lewandowski to Choupo-Moting. It's like having Luis Suarez carry your team and then go to Barcelona and replace him with Ricky Lambert. That's how I see it. You know, when Liverpool replaced Suarez with Ricky Lambert, that's how the drop down from Lewandowski to Choupo. Don't know Choupo-Moting's.
Mate, Ricky Lambert, he's a baller. He was a baller.
He wasn't Suarez, was he? But let's talk
that is
about
true.
Choupo-Moting. How I don't know who his agent is.
I think his agent.
But if his agent can get him from Stoke in the Championship to go to PSG. To then leave PSG to go to Bayern Munich, I don't know.
Yes, let's get him on. Let's get him on, see what he can do for us.
Let's get him on and see what we. And then obviously I'll go for my Joshua Kimmich partner at the back, the left-sided defender. He plays for Bayern Munich. He's a fellow Canadian like myself. I'm not Canadian, but I grew up there. Grew up there. I spent several years there, but I love Canadians. And it's Alphonso Davies. Ever since he's burst onto the scene, I love the kid. I think he's incredible.
He's likable, isn't he?
And again, with the TikToks and with his rendition of the Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I Want It That Way, he does a video.
That was brilliant.
That was brilliant. And ever since then, I've just watched him. He absolutely rinsed Chelsea last year. You know, his face just absolutely demoralised every single one of our players. And I was like, do you know what? This kid's going to be massive. And the fact that he's playing left back from left wing, he's gone the opposite to Bale. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's so hard to do, by the way.
And I mean, to be doing it in this team as well with Alaba, pushing Alaba. Obviously, Alaba has been pushed into the centre-back role a bit more due to the fact they've had injuries. But I think if they had all their centre backs fit, Alaba wouldn't go to left back. He'd have to stay centre back, kind of thing, and push out another centre back. I think he's their left back now for the next 10 years, and
yeah,
it would be further forward if they didn't have the likes of Gnabry and Coman and Sane, but they do. So he's happy.
Yeah, I mean, chuck him in the mix as well if you get another decent left back, and it's
fortunately
scary.
He goes off on Canadian duty and just carries the team there when he goes up top. So he goes left wing there with Jonathan David through the middle. So it's all good.
Yeah,
so
that's not bad.
Let's hear your left back then, Harv, considering I've given you my right back and left back, but in a back three kind of thing. So let's hear your left back.
Yeah, I've gone someone. I really struggled for this position, and only for the fact that I didn't want to include Ashley Cole because we've spoke about him so much already. But I've gone Patrice Evra.
Again, fully understandable.
It just like when he played for Man United, and as we've heard many a time, neither of us liked Man United growing up. It was horrible to watch, and the torture that we got. But there was something you could always kind of appreciate a good footballer.
Yeah.
And a guy who knew what he was doing, played his position so well. And he did that. He did that at left back, didn't he? He was so good going forward and defensively as well. Probably one of the best left backs in the Prem at the time that he was playing.
I think probably the second best left back to play in the Prem behind Ashley Cole.
Yeah. He was just so good defensively, did his job. I said the back line just knows how to do the job, and that's why I liked them. And he definitely knew how to do his job. Won titles with it as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he pretty much win everything there was?
I think he won everything there was to win. Yeah. And then he obviously went to he's been to Juve, won a Serie A and that.
Yes, yeah. I just it was good, and off the pitch as well. He's a bit of a internet sensation. He is very wild. But
every Monday.
Yeah, you can wake up and think, what am I going to see?
This game.
Yeah, he does. I did. Yeah, really loved the way he played at left back, up and down, and just his defensive duties were. It was so good at reading the game as well. I've got an odd centre pairing.
Yeah. So before you do that, shall I give you my final?
Yes. Yeah. Let's hear you put in the middle of.
I'll see if you can guess this one with a few clues. There's a few easy clues, but his wife is very famous as well. So
okay, yeah,
you know who it is already.
I think it is. Yeah, you do rate him very highly.
I rate him highly, and the fun fact is they were both born on exactly the same day, 10 years apart. So his wife Shakira is actually 10 years older than my main man Gerard Piqué, exactly to the day. And I do collect football jerseys. I do have quite a lot. One of which I do have is a Gerard Piqué one, number 3 there, for the Qatar Foundation. I can still fit in it. That will I'll wear that in future episodes. I love my football shirts. Obviously, here's a little hint that I'm wearing now, the Australia jersey with the number 4. That might give you a hint at one of my other players. But yeah, I've got Gerard Piqué at the back in the centre, my actual only true centre back in my back.
Yes.
I love Gerard Piqué, I think he's quality. I just think obviously he was at Man United for a season or two, and Barcelona brought him back.
Yeah.
So, and I think that was solid. Him and Puyol, being under the likes of Puyol and learning from Puyol is absolutely massive. And I just think he's had a tough few seasons, but he's still been their best centre back the past few seasons. Dele and Titi just can't get into the team consistently in that. And I just think Piqué's solid. And obviously, being married to Shakira is kind of a big win itself. So.
Yeah, you just get him in for that, really.
Exactly. So that's why I've got Gerard Piqué in my back line.
Yeah, I mean, he has won everything, hasn't he?
He has won everything, and he was part of that greatest Barcelona team ever, and possibly one of the best football teams ever, the one that you constantly
just boring.
Yeah. So that completes my back line of Joe Hart with Kimmich, Alphonso Davies, and Piqué at the back, because I couldn't think of any other centre backs that I really wanted to put in. I just wanted to stack the midfield. So let's hear your centre-back partnership then.
Okay, so I've mentioned one before in my fun facts. Mm-hmm. It was his last name that got mentioned. Can you remember who it was?
Oh no, I forgot already.
Roman numerals was the
Nemanja Vidic.
yes.
Good
I
choice.
loved the way he played the game, and his centre back partner. I can't imagine what these two playing together would have been like. It would have been incredible to see. But yeah, Vidic was just him and Rio. I know you talk about Rio. He was the quality on ball player, could take the ball, travel with the ball. But give me a defender that puts his face on the line several times. In fact, I think he's broken his nose a few times. Still loves it. Coming on with blood pouring out his nose, all over his face or whatever his shirt. Just give me that as a centre back all day long. I love it.
That's it. Like those.
Is there anything more to love?
My favourite centre backs. To be fair, now I've got Peak in
Yeah,
there, but I couldn't put John Terry in there. And obviously, John Terry is my Vidic
yeah,
for you know what I mean? Putting his
yeah,
face on the line. I remember watching the Carling Cup final against Arsenal numerous years ago, and
yeah,
gone
that
in for a
was
diving header, and Emmanuel
on
Abue
the line,
kicked him in the face,
knocked him out. Yeah, I remember the Arsenal
swallowed his tongue, and every single player stopped the game and rushed.
Yeah, I remember the Arsenal physio ran on with the oxygen before the Chelsea man got there, didn't he?
It was tough.
You knew it was bad. Yeah, but give me that sort of defending. I love that. I love to see that sort of thing.
That's why you wouldn't. That's why you wouldn't see Van Dijk do. You know, you wouldn't see Virgil van Dijk put his face in front of a ball or in front of a foot to stop a goal, in my opinion. And that's why.
No, I don't think you would either. No,
I think Ferdinand would, but he didn't have to when he had Vidic there, did he?
So, no. One of you can be the flash, and one of you can just do the hard work, can't they? That's the sort of partnership that it's good to have. But yeah, Vidic for me, I love the way he played the game. Just didn't care about anything else apart from stopping the ball. And mate, give me that. I love that as a defender. Love it. And this guy is exactly the same. You mentioned he partnered your good man, Gerard Piqué, and that's Carlos Puyol.
Yeah, again,
loved the way he went about the game. I've seen several clips of an opponent player slapping him in the face, and he didn't retaliate and stopped his own teammates from defending him. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Seen people throw lighters on the pitch. Gerard Piqué, I think it hit Gerard Piqué, or went close to him.
It hit him in the eye, didn't it? It hit him on the side of the eye. Yeah, he's like picked it up, and he's like, "Ref, what's going on here?" Puyol took it off.
Yeah, get that out.
And he's like, "Get on with the game, Gerard. What are you doing?"
Yeah, we're playing here. Let's go.
He's done that before. He's had his own players on the floor on the edge of like his box, laying down, holding their leg, and he just goes up and picks them up, and he's like, "Get up."
Doing? We don't. Yeah, don't like that sort of thing. Yeah, get on with it. Could you imagine those two playing? How good would that partnership be?
It'll be a slow backline, but it'll be all right.
Yeah, but I mean,
the ball gets past them. You're not.
Someone else is getting hurt, but just bodies on the line. Just they know the jobs, and both the reading of the game as well. I think was both quite underrated. Really, you think about how much they won individually. You don't win anything without a decent back line, including the keeper, and those two were really pivotal. So
that's the thing with a lack of pace. I mean, they weren't overly slow, either of them, but with a lack of pace comes better reading of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if
unbelievable.
You've got a lot of pace. The likes of Van Dijk or someone that is known for being pacey, and Rio Ferdinand. You don't need to read the game as well as the likes of Vidic and Puyol have to, and those were two of the best to do so. I really would have loved to have seen those two play together. I think it would have been really good. But obviously 10 years ago when you could get away with actually tackling. But let's not talk about what our argument was on the weekend in regards to that Leeds Man City game.
I mean, I have seen it again, and it probably maybe it was an edgy red. Edgy red.
It was a
edgy red.
It was.
But 10 years ago, do you think that was a red? 10 years ago.
10 years ago. 15? Well, that's the thing. It's different now, isn't it? The rules are different.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a red now. But if you had asked me 10 years ago, that's a yellow, isn't it? He's gone for the ball.
Yeah.
He got the ball. He followed through a bit, and it wasn't overly reckless, So it was a yellow. But in this day and age, that's a red.
I suppose. Yeah, it's just really the rules. No. But those two, I'd have loved to have seen them at the back play 10, 15 years ago. It would have been outstanding. I've got two two midfielders. Yeah, one would definitely sit. One, I've put two names because I was really indecisive, and I was just going to pick one when you asked me, and that would be my gut decision. But I'll talk about the other one first, and we've mentioned him before, and that's Patrick Vieira. I think he was criminally underrated as a footballer. I see him. He'd sort of ask for the ball off the back four, turn with the ball, such a long stride.
Yeah.
So he could, get to, as he turned and got going, a bit like a Yaya Toure.
That's it.
Like
anyone who's seen Yaya Toure needs to go back and watch Vieira, because that's basically Yaya Toure, but better.
Yeah.
Everyone always underrates the footballing ability of Vieira and Keane. We spoke about it before. Everyone's always like, oh yeah, they're leaders, they're the best leaders you'll ever see. But at the end of the day, they're also top quality professional footballers at the top of the game.
You're not in there just for leadership. You're in there because you can play. But yeah, just used to love watching the battles that he'd go into. But then also his footballing ability. Just for a man of about 6'3", the ease of which he could take a player on with his footwork, moving the ball from side to side. We see Iniesta's left to right foot and go forward. That move that he can pull off.
La Croqueta, it's called.
Yeah, that's the one. I couldn't remember what the name was, but that's
so good.
I've seen Vieira do that a few times as well. And you think, there's a guy like that. How does he pull that off? That shouldn't be happening, should it? It shouldn't be happening. A guy like that, doing that sort of thing. But yeah, really, really loved him. Watching him in midfield again, anything for the team, and that's what I like. I love that commitment to a team, teamwork, team ethic. Loved it. But yeah, you've got three.
So I've got three centre mid /
three centre mids,
and then a right mid and a left mid, and then two strikers. So shall I do my right mid and left mid first, and then
go on.
You finish off? So my right mid's probably easy to think of. You could probably guess my right mid. If you want to have a little go at it, I'll give you a clue. I've got one of his shirts, obviously.
I mean, I think it's got to be Messi.
No.
Or Sterling. No.
No, right mid.
Right mid.
Come on, England legend.
Oh, David Beckham.
David Beckham. Of course it's David Beckham. I love David Beckham. Everything about David Beckham. I think he was underrated as a footballer. I just think he was so good to watch. And I love watching David Beckham in every stage of his career. Man United, Real Madrid, AC Milan, LA Galaxy, PSG. I just loved watching the guy play football. And everything outside of football as well. I just love the aura of the guy. I think he's incredible.
Yeah, better say he's got a good aura about him.
I just think everything that he does, he's hilarious, as well. When he's doing comedy skits with James Corden or like that, and Jimmy Fallon, or when you watch anything on it, he's just so good. He's not the best actor, I'll give him that. He's been in a few movies like The Legend of Arthur, when he's like an old school knight guy, and he's actually in what's it called, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. as well, if you've ever seen that.
I don't know. I don't think I have, actually.
Not many people know that, but he's in it for a few seconds. He speaks Russian. He's doing the movie projector in the movie, and he puts a slide on, and like Henry Cavill's character, I think, and the other character both look back and go, "What's going on?" And he said sorry in Russian, flipped it over, but that's David Beckham with makeup. Wow. It's pretty good. But yeah, he's not the best actor, but everything else he does is just top quality. And then my left mid, though, another English player, you just mentioned him, is Raheem Sterling. I love Raheem Sterling as well. I absolutely love Raheem. I thought
he would make your team.
I think he's world class. I just think he's absolutely world class, and people underrate. I think people criminally underrate Raheem Sterling. He is England's best player. At the 2018 World Cup, I still think he was England's best player. If Harry Kane had just got his head out his arse for once and passed the ball across to Sterling in the semi-final, rather than going for goal, we'd be 2-0 up. We'd be cruising to a final where we'd probably lose to France, but at least we'd be there. I just think Raheem Sterling's so good.
Yeah, I do like it. When he first burst onto the scene at Liverpool, where he had that breakout season, and it was just like you just wanted to watch him. You would pay to watch just him in that Liverpool team of Steven Gerrard, Luis Suarez. Sturridge was on fire. They had some ballers, but like you say, he was just so good to watch. Loved watching him in that Liverpool team when they went so close to winning the league. Again, those three up top were good to watch as well, weren't they? But I can see why he's in there.
I just
definitely.
think again, and every time I watch him, I think he's so mature for a person. Ever since he started aging, obviously his dad was killed by gun violence, and he got called out for no reason whatsoever, other than the fact that he is black, and the media like to attack that. And they were like, oh yeah, why has he got a gun tattooed on his ankle? It's like, mate, that's got meaning. He doesn't just have a tattoo on a gun because of any reason.
Yeah.
That's got meaning. His dad was killed in a gun attack. And that's why that is. And I just felt he handled that perfectly. He handles racism very well. He's like, I've actually experienced racism at a football pitch where Chelsea were playing Tottenham. And I saw other Chelsea fans being racially abusive towards the likes of Danny Rose as well, taking a corner, which really hurt. And it hurt me watching that because I was like, oh man.
I just don't get it. I
didn't want to watch the rest of the game. It ruined, there's like 20 minutes left. And I was like, and I knew it was racial because not long after, I think maybe Lamella or Son took a corner. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. Lamella or Son took a corner and nothing happened. You know what I mean? And then it's like, I don't know what happened, but Raheem Sterling, every time obviously different people handle it differently. And Danny Rose, unfortunately, with his mental health, he struggles to handle it. And people shouldn't have to handle it. It shouldn't be something that happens. So I feel so bad for the likes of Danny Rose because he's maybe struggled since the racial abuse, and he's struggled a bit more because he was a top quality left back. I think people don't understand how good Danny Rose was coming up.
Good.
But
really,
now he's like gone off the radar because maybe his mental attitude towards the game is poor because of fickle fans like that. Whereas Raheem Sterling, he's thrived off that, and I think he's just because of that. That's another reason why I love him. I think he's just top quality guy. All these young players like that are coming through. Like Rashford and Callum Hudson-Odoi, Jadon Sancho, Wilfred Zaha. I've seen a documentary about the footballers who come from London. If anyone wants to watch it, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's done by the lads at Football Daily and stuff like that. It's in regards to footballers from London, the likes of Callum Hudson-Odoi, Sterling, Rashford. Even though they're not all from London, I think, but they all grew up in them sorts of parts. It's really good. It's really good. And it just makes me realise that, them people, they take on more than just the football. And Raheem Sterling is at the forefront of that with the likes of Rashford, and they're top quality. And with this Black Lives Matter thing going on, I think it's so important that we can finally put an end to racism in our sport because it's ruining it, Really
I see today the guy that abused Kemar Roof got a 10-match ban, didn't he?
Rightly so. Not enough. It's not enough though. 10-match ban, is it?
No, 12 match ban for Kieran Trippier for betting and 10-match ban for abusing someone.
I can't remember how long Suarez got for being racist towards.
Was it 7 games?
Remember, but it wasn't enough. I know John Terry was obviously accused of being racially abusive towards Anton Ferdinand, and I don't appreciate that either. But I think that was something different. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not sticking up for John Terry either. But that
was a weird one, wasn't it? Nothing really.
He didn't say
that.
He didn't say the bad word, but he said something, but I can't remember. But anyway, let's move on from that controversial topic, Harv, and let's hear your partner in your midfield two with Patrick Vieira.
Oh, okay. So I've got 2 names written down.
Okay.
I'm just going to pick one, and I feel like I'm doing a disservice to the other one because I really like both of these players, but screw it, I'm going Gattuso. I loved him.
Do you know what Gattuso?
I just again, I told you I like guys that do the job.
Yeah.
And if you gave me someone who just tireless energy, not only for running around but for giving it to the opposition any which way he could.
Absolute,
Yeah, loved it. I loved it. I've seen him square up to Joe Jordan. There was nearly a scrap there, wasn't there? That was
great.
And I wouldn't mess with Joe Jordan, really.
The term shithouse because
deservedly so.
And there are a few of their players. There's players like that. You either hate them or you love them. When Diego
Yes.
was at Chelsea, loved him. Shithouse, the biggest
Yeah.
off, in the Premier League, loved him.
Yes.
Pepe,
Yeah.
I can't stand the guy. I absolutely hate him. And
But if he was on your team, wow, yeah, you'd
exactly.
you
Same as
get him in.
Ramos. Again, he's one.
Yeah.
Hate him. Don't
Dear.
like him. I don't like him. I don't like the fact that he is. But Gennaro Gattuso was one of the ones that I did love, even though he never played for Chelsea. I just loved watching him.
It's just,
and like you said,
everything.
He was playing Tottenham, wasn't it? And he stood up to Joe Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, Joe. I think Joe Jordan back in his day was a bit of a.
I remember I remember the commentators in that game saying, "Oh, Gennaro, I think you're getting yourself into a bit of trouble here."
Yeah, I think he was one to watch. So yeah, just showed you the nuts on the guy.
Yeah.
And he was just probably underrated again for his footballing ability. He's won a World Cup. He's I know it was Zidane probably threw it away for France as well, but you don't get to World Cup final without being half decent, and you don't win titles and stuff.
Do you remember the player that Zidane headbutted in that final?
Materazzi.
Yeah, okay, just checking.
That's
trivia, obviously.
But yeah, I just like the way he went about the game. Just his tireless energy for both parts of the game, the ugly side and the funny side that spectators probably don't. You can't hear it. Like now in lockdown with no fans, you get to hear so much stuff, and it's great to watch as a fan because you just get to hear the things that you think, wow, I can't believe that's something I say down at Sunday League and he's just calling it out. And do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. I love that side of the game. But his shithousery side of the game was fantastic to watch. Whether it was flying in for challenges, just again doing anything for the shirt and the team, and making others around him a little less relieved of a job. You think he sat next to Pirlo. Pirlo could do whatever he wanted. Gattuso was sat next to him. He could, he'd do the defensive work.
Who was this other player you was tossing him up to then?
Kaka.
Kaka, yeah. Again,
obviously on the ball.
Different players, though.
Yeah, completely different players, but just that I love the tricks, flicks going forward, making people look silly.
I'm sure your front four will be full of that. I'm expecting the likes of Ronaldinho and JJ Okocha and Edgar Davids.
I've got. Do you know what? I've crossed out someone you just mentioned
JJ.
on the pure. On the pure fact that I've got probably Arsenal's greatest strike partnership that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
In there, but not as a two. I've got one sat in the 10 role. I spoke about it before. But yeah, Kaká was my other mention. If you're unsure of his technical ability, just watch the pass to set up Hernan Crespo in Champions League final, and then also watch the game against Man United in Champions League, where he, in my eyes, I think he pretty much ran the show. I thought he was outstanding. It was just so good to watch in a generation of a Brazil team where you've got Adriano, Ronaldinho, the Ronaldo, and the back end of Rivaldo, and that guy still sticks out. I've just mentioned some names that going forward would scare the living daylights out. Yeah, and he was in there mixing it with those. Just says how good he was, and he probably was quite a quiet character off the pitch, wasn't he? You didn't really hear much.
Yeah, there's never any controversy or anything around him.
No,
they tried to find something to
a
player of his caliber down, but obviously won the Ballon d'Or, didn't he? And it's like
he was such a good, just a favourite to watch. You talk about paying a price of admission to see a certain player. I think he's definitely one of those in his prime. At Milan, especially, was incredible to watch and just so much fun. Played with that Brazilian flair, didn't he? That was what I liked.
100%.
Yeah, you got three in the centre.
I've got 3 centre midfield, so I'll probably give you them all at once. And obviously, one of them I'm wearing the jersey. I'm wearing the Australian jersey, so I'm pretty sure you can guess who that is, right?
Old Timmy.
Yeah, I love Tim Cahill. He wasn't.
His celebration was always good.
But, I loved his celebration. I tried to compare myself to Tim Cahill on a football pitch when I play 11-a-side. I'm actually quite small, but I could jump and get up for a fair few headers. And I scored
You've got
quite a
that
few.
energy about you,
I've
yeah.
got that
Yeah,
energy
you are,
about
yeah.
me. And the
Yeah.
only thing I'll be fighting is a corner flag. So yeah, I'm pretty much a good player.
And it's a
But the other
50-50 in that, to be fair.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I tend to lose that as well. So but the other two, one of them's another teammate of the likes of the Kimmich and Alphonso Davis Bayern Munich team, and I've mentioned him before in one of my most criminally underrated players, and that's Thomas Muller. You know, if you want a football character that's just pure fun and
He's,
jokes, like
yeah, great.
I love Thomas Muller. I think the guy's incredible, and he's so amazing as a footballer. He's super underrated. I genuinely think he's the most underrated player of the past 20 years. I do. I just
You
think
don't go into the teams he plays in without having
no,
ability.
no, you don't. You don't.
Massive, massive
And
ability.
to get the amount of goals and assists he gets year in year out, you know, I
Yeah.
just think he's
From
incredible.
all sorts of positions.
The last player though, he won the what's it called? The young player. When a player wins the young player of the year,
Golden Boy. Golden
He
Boy?
won the Golden Boy award several years ago. He plays for Real Madrid now, doesn't get in the starting 11 somehow, and it still annoys me that the likes of Kroos and Modric play over this guy, because during them 3 years they won the Champions League 3 times. This guy was absolutely quality, and he was one of Zidane's top boys. And watching him play football, he's so beautiful to watch. You know, his touches, his flicks, and that's Isco. I love Isco.
Yeah.
I absolutely think he's incredible, and he's in his prime now, and he's not playing. If I was him, I'd try and get a move. You know, if
He's
Chelsea
on.
get the likes of
There's a
Isco,
potential move to Everton, isn't there?
that would
On the
be
cards.
but they're so
A reunion.
stacked in cams. You know, but he would be.
I think he could play out wide. He could play
He could, but if
imagine
they get him
imagine those two behind Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. Those four go forward.
James Rodriguez and Isco in behind. That'd be so
Behind
good to watch.
those two those four going forward would be
them four going forward in a like 4-2-4 with Decore and Allen maybe sitting. That'd be pretty decent. I mean, they look all right now, and Carlo Ancelotti could probably pull it off. But yeah, I just think Isco is so underrated. And if you type in Isco highlights on YouTube, the guy's just class. You know, the touches he does, balls from high up, he just dead balls them. And yeah, I just reckon he's quality. And off the pitch as well, he's such a nice guy. Not many people know, but when I watched him in a match, he done a celebration, and he done sign language, because it was a deaf fan that asked him to do deaf fan asked him to do a certain celebration in sign language, and he spent the whole week leading up to it learning how to do it properly, so he didn't mess up, and he's done it again for other people. I just think I don't know, he just seems like
that's a touch of class,
guy.
that, isn't it?
I just think he's a class player as well, top guy. But my two strikers, obviously, you've mentioned one of them you thought is on the right, and that's Lionel Messi, the greatest to have ever played the game of football. I ain't going to say much more on him. I don't want to waste people's time on Messi. Everyone knows who he is. Everyone knows what he does. And I'll leave my last striker. But before I name him, I've got some honourable mentions that I was going to put there. You know, I love Rooney. I think Rooney's a top quality player.
And
if he could have joined Chelsea when there's rumours of him joining Chelsea at the same time as Gerrard, I think it was, that would have been incredible.
That would have been mental.
Ronaldinho, another mention. Casillas and goal. David Villa, I love David Villa. Peter Crouch, I've got in there. I love Peter Crouch.
Yeah, I've got Crouch down at.
Anyway, as a footballer, listening to this podcast, the guy's just hilarious, isn't he? You know.
But I think he was. I think he was underrated.
Yeah,
as well.
I think he was. If he wasn't going to be a footballer, what was he going to be? Harv?
Yeah, still virgin. Virgin. Just great.
Just great. And his podcast, if you haven't heard it and you're listening to ours, go listen to the Peter Crouch podcast. It's absolutely incredible.
It's good.
It's
good.
But
yeah,
it's so funny.
I do. As a player, he was nearly one goal in 2 games for England, wasn't he?
Most headed goals in the Premier League, obviously. So
yeah, he scored some worldies against your man Joe Hart as well, didn't he? That was some finish.
The ball where it's come up, he hasn't left the floor, hasn't he? He's like chipped it up with his knee and then volleyed it across goal from like 24 yards out. But it wasn't just 24 yards out; it was an angle
on the court. On the edge.
Yard box. It was incredible. But before I give my final striker, let's hear your final 4 players, because I think we've already heard like 2 or 3 of them, mate.
Yeah, I've got. I did cross out I had JJ Okocha.
Yeah.
On the right, I crossed him out because I nearly forgot.
I know the other 3. It's definitely Ronaldinho on the left, and then Bergkamp behind Thierry Henry, right?
Yeah, I've actually got Ronaldinho on the right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
because I've got Cristiano just from his time at Man United alone.
Fair enough.
Just give me the tricks, skills, and making people look ridiculously silly at such a young age, playing with no fear, like you've just come off the streets with your mates.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. And I think Ronaldinho and Ronaldo are both that. They had that same sort of flair, flicks, tricks. This is a game of entertainment. Let's make it entertaining. And I think those two did that. And then my top three, one of the top three Dutch players ever, Bergkamp, in that number 10. Just such a great technician on the ball. It was just so good to watch, so fun to watch.
Obviously, that standout goal that we've mentioned before, where he's done that turn. Who was that against again?
Newcastle. The flick from
behind. It's so good.
yeah, so good. If anyone's friends with me on Facebook, you might have seen this. I shared his first touch video midweek on Facebook, and just watching it back, I've probably seen it I don't know how many times. Yeah. But the guy could take a 50-yard ball in his stride on his knee, on his thigh, and still continue running at full pace, and you just think, wow, that is magic to do that. You ask anybody who's attempted to play football, whether it's in your yard, in the back garden, with your mates, or you play professional, to take a touch like that.
Yeah.
I see you see him do it numerous times. Anyone else probably listening to this probably lucky to do it once in a lifetime. I think that just how good and fun he was to watch. He made Juventus and Lilian Thuram look a bit silly at Highbury before, with his skills and tricks and stuff like that. And then obviously the main man, Henry up top. I don't think he don't need to speak about him. Top goal scorer for Arsenal, best striker playing the Prem, won everything.
I think I agree.
It was just fun to watch. He had pace, power, good in the air. I don't think there was anything he didn't have.
Yeah.
For as a striker.
Obviously, that goal against Man United, we talk about it again, where he's got his back to goal, flicks it up to himself, volley. He knew what he's doing. That was just incredible. One of my favourite goals ever to watch.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think my forward four there have scored some of the best goals that I've ever seen.
Oh,
Ronaldo scored loads, but the one that sticks out is the Portsmouth free kick. That was just incredible.
Yeah.
Henry's.
That was one of the first times people really sat down and understood the knuckleball technique, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, nobody. The wall barely got near it. David James didn't even move. It was just magical. Bergkamp obviously scored several goals. The Newcastle one we spoke about the one against Argentina in the World Cup a few times. I think if you watch his first hat trick for Arsenal against Leicester, it probably does look probably not quite black and white, but it was a throwback. Some of the goals he scored there were unbelievable. And then Ronaldinho, first guy I remember scoring a free kick underneath the wall. I remember he was the first player I think I'd seen do that. Yeah. Just the imagination and stuff like that of those guys.
The cheek of doing that as well, and of course he scored that incredible. Somehow he scored an incredible toe punt against Chelsea. I'm not saying it's somehow because it's against Chelsea. It's the fact that you're a professional footballer and you're toe punting it from outside the box. What are you doing?
And it's got in, and the keeper's not even moved. And
it's checks like, I don't know what just happened. The defence. We don't know. It's
when you surrounded him as well.
Oh yeah, you look at the still frame. You look at the still frame of them pausing it as the ball leaves his foot. The amount of people around him, it's like
I couldn't even see what he was looking at. If you look from there's an image from just slightly to the right behind him, and you can't even see the gap he's gone for. You can't see what he's tried to do.
He knows.
Yeah. But I think that's got to be my favourite 11. Everyone did the job. Favourite 11. Everyone did the job at the back. Knew the jobs inside out. Same going into midfield with a touch of skill and quality, and then going forward, it's an entertainment sport, and that's what I've gone for at the top, entertainment. But you've You've got one left?
Yeah, I've got one left. Yeah. I've got my strike partner for Messi, completely different player than Messi. I've got the likes of, like I said, Crouch, Rooney, David Villa, Torres before he was at Chelsea. I just love Torres. I wish I could put Torres in this team. Shevchenko, Drogba, all these. Samuel Eto'o. Again, Samuel Eto'o played for Chelsea. Can't believe it. Scored a hat trick.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could. He's played for Barca and that.
I could have done, but
a treble with Inter.
I've gone for a one club man. You know, and you're not gonna get this, I don't think, straight off. If I just say one club man, striker, legend.
One club man, striker, legend.
Think of?
Not Oliver Bierhoff.
Italian.
Yeah. Italian legend, one club man. Oh.
The one club man as well. He's like he's so underrated and forgotten. He's forgotten by so many people and wasn't blessed with pace, but the guy was just incredible.
No, I'm thinking of like Rui Costa and
you're thinking of people that played in Italy, but obviously no, it's Francesco Totti, mate.
Oh, Totti, yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there.
Yeah, I
Totti,
love.
Yes.
Yeah, I think watching Totti play, he's just so good, and I just think he made it look so easy what he done. You know, he could play on the left wing, the right wing when he was pushed there. He was played through the middle. He played centre forward, cam. His passing as well is so underrated as a striker. He didn't score hordes and hordes of goals all the time. He was never always like a clinical, top quality.
He was getting you 15 goals though, wasn't he?
He was still getting you goals, but it's just the way he played the sport. I enjoyed watching him a lot. You know.
Yes. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
When he was on FIFA. I used to love just using them on FIFA, and I'd get messages off people. I'd beat people like 4, 5, 6-0, and they'd be like, "Why are you using a striker with 35 pace?" And I'm like, "Mate, you just got beat by that striker. I don't know what you're on about." You know what I mean? I don't care. The guy was. Yeah. I just really enjoyed watching him play, and that's why in my favourite XI, I've got players that I just enjoy watching play. And obviously, we didn't talk about Tim Cahill much, and he is a striker at heart. I think with how he plays for us.
Yeah.
With Australia, sorry, he goes up top because they didn't have anyone better at the time, but that volley that he scored against the Netherlands in the 2010 World Cup, you know, when they've taken kickoff from the right mid, he's put it over and it's gone over his right shoulder and he's volleyed it across the keeper with his weak left foot.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my favourite goals I've ever seen.
I really liked his partnership. His partnership with Marouane Fellaini as well at Everton was really good.
Think the likes of Fellaini, Tim Cahill and Mikel Arteta all played at Everton, and that's a
at the same time it was really good
I've
team.
got Totti up top with Messi, with my very attacking midfield of Beckham, Timmy Cahill, Raheem Sterling, Isco, Muller. My very unconventional defence of Kimmich, PK, Joe Hart in goal, and my manager. I wanted to put Jose Mourinho because I love him. He's Chelsea's greatest of all time. So if I could have one Chelsea person in it, I would have chose him, because then it means I'm not leaving out the players. It's like if I pick a player, you know, if I pick a Lampard, I'm missing out of Terry. But if I'm picking Mourinho, there's no other Chelsea manager I can pick. Maybe Roberto Di Matteo, you know, but because he won us the Champions League. But
that is true.
I could pick Frank Lampard as my manager, because then that sneakily gets to it.
Get him in.
I could have got Sir Alex Ferguson, because the guy's just the best of the best. But I've gone for someone that's just a fun person. Every time I see him, I just think I'd go for a beer with this guy. And that's Jurgen Klopp. I love him. I love Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, I love Jurgen Klopp. I think the guy's hilarious.
I get that. Yeah, I see that side. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
When Liverpool won the Champions League, he went into the bars, and I love the Liverpool songs that they come out with. You know that there's a lad that plays guitar, and he does a lot of Liverpool songs, and I sing a lot of them. I think they're really catchy. And seeing Jurgen Klopp go into the bar, pick up a beer, and start singing these songs about Van Dijk and his team.
Yeah, what's not to love about that? I just
think the guy's just great. I think he's quality, and I know they're going through a rough time at the moment, but I back Klopp to sort of out. I think he's a top quality as well, and just a top quality guy.
You don't take them from where they were to literally having all the players cheer for a 2-2 draw at West Brom.
No.
or with West Brom to winning the league and the Champions League. And
I take a 2-2 draw with West Brom.
yeah. Oh, sorry, is it still a sore subject? I do apologise. Walsall didn't win in 14 and we've won 2.
We've qualified through to the Champions League semi-finals. I think I'll let it go.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I'm about to say, you want to try being a Walsall fan, mate. Before Saturday, we hadn't won in 14, and we've now won 2 on the bounce.
Fun fact. Liverpool are actually the 92nd ranked team out of the 92 English League teams for points earned at home in 2021. They've got 1 point at Anfield in 2021, which is... I
imagine Walsall must be 91st.
No. I think it's Wigan. I think Wigan are 91st, and that's only because they won at the weekend.
They've won 2-1, got themselves out of the relegation zone.
They got themselves out of the Liverpool voodoo of being the worst team. So I am sat there praising Jurgen Klopp. Well, I'll bring the Liverpool fans back down. They're 92nd out of 92 teams in the Premier League points at home at a stadium where another fun fact, Everton actually won the top division at Anfield before Liverpool were even a club. They're Everton's reject club. They're Everton's reject ground, Anfield, but they have made it their own. But let's hear your manager then, Harv. I'm pretty sure
I've got 2 of the ones that you mentioned. Mourinho at Chelsea when he first got there on the special one was fantastic. Great entertainment.
Great first interview that.
Yeah, it was brilliant to watch. Everyone was thinking, what is this knob doing? But yeah, brilliant. Sir Alex, again, no words needed for the guy. I also think, and I'm just gonna read this team out and just how good a manager he must have been to compete with just this team. And you'll get this. So Juru was at right back.
Yeah.
Vermaelen and Squillaci were at centre back.
Yeah.
Andre Santos was at left back.
Yeah.
Benayoun, Frimpong and Coquelin were the centre mids. Arshavin, Shamak and Oxlade-Chamberlain, before he was as good as what he was, with Fabianski in goal, was Arsene Wenger in the Champions League.
That's it.
I saw
a picture of that team. I think it was doing the rounds on Twitter not long ago, and it's like it was such an innovative coach when he first got here, manager in England, went he with the diets and what you can eat and drink and stuff like that. And then I'll never forget when he got sent off at Old Trafford and he was stood there in the stands, like
where do you want me to go? I'll go sit with the fans. I'll sit with the fans.
The problem that he had with his coat zipper,
his coat.
He'd always wear
get a new one,
and he could never do the zipper. And every time I remember watching, it was like Chris Kamara or Cami, and Jeff Stelling, anyone would be like, he's trying to do his zipper up again.
He's just doing his zipper.
Why is he not getting a new coat?
Just get a new one. Surely the club shop will just give you one. You're the boss. But my favourite manager, and I took his job on Football Manager. We spoke about that before. I don't think there's a guy in the world that wouldn't want to go for, like you say, a pint with Jurgen or whatever. This guy, Sean Dyche. Just any. Oh God, I really do just love him. I think he's great. He's comedy gold in interviews.
He's funny. Talking about comedy gold, though, Ian Holloway, when he first came up to the Prem with Blackpool, he was also pretty.
Yeah, he was great. But yeah, Sean Dyche. He seems like just an average guy like me and you, Mike, that has managed to get himself a management job and just tells it how it is and
he
doesn't really have.
He's someone who's like, he's sat there watching the game with his pint, and the Burnley hierarchy is like, our manager's not showed up, and he's like, lads, I'll jump in the seat, and then he does it. Got
go on then.
Win, and they're like, do you know what?
Stick with this guy. Well, I just
9 games, we'll have him.
I just like him. Every time you hear him speak, he speaks like a fan of the game, like we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can relate to him. I mean, not saying I can't relate to Mourinho because I've never won the amount of trophies he's won or anything like that. But do you know what I mean? I think he's just so relatable, like Jurgen Klopp going into bars and stuff. You see Sean Dyche doing similar things, but just being you could just relate to him. I think Just think he's great. Yeah, really, really
Definitely.
great. So
those are our teams, right? That concludes our favorite XI ever. People listening and watching, why not head to
get
our
yours
Twitter
in
at Terrace Talk Pod and tell us your favorite XI, or email us. Drop us a DM on our Facebook, or go onto the YouTube and drop a comment down below if you're watching that. Just let us know who your favorite players are of all time, because everyone.
I feel like I struggled as well. I feel like I've really struggled.
I had so many players that I missed out. Like I missed out the likes of Zidane as well that I didn't mention, and obviously having Chelsea players was hard. JJ Koch was up there, Nedved. You know, I struggled for defenders, but the others is really hard.
Luis Figo was one for me as well.
Luis Figo, decent. We're moving on now, Harv, to the score predictor, right, of the Premier League. And this upcoming Friday is the first game of, I believe, like 11, 12 days straight of Premier League fixtures. So we split it. We're going to cut it off next Wednesday. Yes. 10 fixtures. We're cutting off a week today when we're recording this. So next Wednesday, we'll cut it off. And then when we record, then we may not have the full results in by the time we record, but we will be recording before the start of the next, like 10 or so fixtures, you know what I mean? So we'll start off on Friday. It's a pretty big one, you know. It's going to be a tight game to call. We're currently, we both got 5 points in the last week. So it's 31-29 to me. So still got that 2-point lead that I'm going to keep. Hopefully, or maybe, I mean, I could just sit here and not put my own results down and copy everything you say, and I get the win by the end of the season. But, Everton Spurs, to prove that I'm not doing that, I'll go first. I've gone for a 2-1 Tottenham Hotspur away win.
Oh,
I thought that'd be contentious, you know.
That's big. I've gone Everton 2-1 on a home win.
I've got a home win, so this could be a big one. That could be.
It could be a decider.
I see us being very similar in the result, like the score, who's going to win each game or draw. But obviously it's the scores that will differentiate.
The goal. Yeah, how many are we going to score?
Quick thing before we talk about the next game, which is obviously Newcastle, West Ham United, with the main man, Jay Lings. What are you saying about Jesse Lingard getting in the Euro 2021 squad now with this incredible form that he's on, considering none of us had him anywhere close to our team before? Do you reckon he has a chance?
You'd like to think he does. How do you not take a guy like that at the moment?
He's on fire,
to a major tournament. Does he get in? If he was French, he's going. If he's Brazilian, he's going to a World Cup.
Not French, but
Well,
probably the one other nation he wouldn't get in.
Do you not think?
Attacking players, I think they're so stacked, isn't they?
What? You're really getting over Pogba for you. I know that.
Yeah, getting over Pogba.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine. Kante with Jay Lings going forward. Do you know? I think he gets in any team. I think he gets in nearly any team going to the Euros. Or if it was a World Cup, I think he'd get in any of the big nations going to a World Cup as well. At the moment, at the moment, I don't think there's a better player in the Premier League. I'll go that far.
Yeah,
on form.
I think the fact that Jack Grealish has been injured, Maddison hasn't been.
Well, he's had that shocker in the media, hasn't he? He's had that shocker with the party.
So I think he won't be going now. You know.
No, I think quite hard for him to go now.
But like Mason Mount as well, he's been incredible, and I think Mason Mount is a standout, and he's going to be guaranteed to be starting in the first match at the Euros. I would love to see Jude Bellingham, Mason Mount, and Phil Foden starting in midfield three. I think it would probably be. I wouldn't mind it being Bellingham, Rice, and Mount, because I think Rice will play. But if Gareth Southgate said this is a first team, we play Croatia, and you saw Bellingham, Rice, and Mount, would you be happy with that? I know.
To an extent, I just don't. I would rather get rid of Rice and have Foden.
I know you would.
Jude Bellingham can do everything.
I know, but what I'm saying, in the way that Gareth Southgate plays with them two defensively minded or strong defensive players, he's going to have Rice regardless.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed because I think Rice is a bit. If I wasn't thinking how I'd like to play, I don't think there's really
starting in this first game with Rice and Mount. You'd be happy with that. You'd be like,
to an extent,
want it to come about, but you'd be like, Bellingham's in. I'm happy.
Yeah, but I don't get me wrong. I really, really like Bellingham, but I don't see how he starts over Foden. So for me, it would be.
But that's what I'm saying. Foden could be on the right wing.
Yeah, but then you're missing the pace. You're missing so much pace out there with like Rashford or someone else that has got. I know Foden's obviously he's not slow.
No,
and I think his pace is deceptive.
It's really
and especially
tough.
with.
I really don't know how the team's going to line up. You know?
I would love to see a midfield three of Bellingham sitting.
Yeah.
Mount doing all the donkey work in terms of all the effort running.
Yeah.
And Foden going forward, because I don't think anyone will be able to sort of deal with how those three should complement each other.
Pressing, Mason Mount is just so good at starting a press.
Mount and Foden play that game for club and should be unbelievable at it.
If them three are all together, like Bellingham, Mount and Foden, I think you have to have Raheem Sterling in there as well, because he likes to start a press.
I'd put him out.
So I'd put him on the left, to be honest.
On the left,
start Sancho on the right. I think Sancho is so good. But let's. We'll talk about this another time. When we get closer to the Euros and Gareth Southgate announces the official squad, we'll talk about how we think we should line up in that first game against Croatia. But for now, we're going to Newcastle West Ham. Like we mentioned, your man Jay Lings. I'm going for a 3-0 West Ham win. I just think they're on fire at the moment. Jesse Lingard's on fire. Declan Rice is solid. And Souček has just come out of nowhere, isn't he, to become one of the best all-round midfielders in the Premier League this season. What are you gone for?
It's the same. I've got 3-0 West Ham. Yeah. I can't really see Newcastle scoring. I know has Wilson come back? I believe he's come back.
I'm not sure, but I know they've scored the past few games. You know, Alan St. Maximin's hitting a bit of form, to be fair. But
yeah, I did like his comment on social media. Did you see it?
Which one? What
the one where someone said, "I can't believe," someone slated him, and then he posted a picture of a microphone towards a bin and said, "Thanks for your comment." And then it was brilliant. Go and have a look. It is class.
The man's Gucci wearing his Gucci headband. He loves it.
He is good.
Next up, though, we got Southampton Palace. What are you going for this half? This is a bit of a tough one for me.
2-1 is what I've gone for. Sorry, I was looking at some other scores there. 2-1 Palace.
Ooh, to Palace.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I've gone 1-1. I've gone for a draw in that game. I think it'll be 1-1. I think both teams are in a bit of a rut. They're not in the best of form recently. You know, Palace didn't look good at all against Chelsea, but at the same time, we needed to do something big to beat them because we just lost 5-2 to West Bromwich Albion. Let's talk about that. So I think Palace played Chelsea at the wrong time. You know, I think West Brom played Chelsea at the right time. We just come off the back of all of our players being on international duty. They battered us 5-2. We weren't going to go to Palace and lose again, I don't think. You know, I think they just played Chelsea at the wrong time. And I think it's going to be 1-1 myself. Next up, though, we got Wolves Sheffield United half.
Yes. I've gone 1-0 Wolves.
1-0 to Wolves. Okay.
Yeah. I do think Sheffield United at 2-0. I do think Sheffield United at some point, though, are going to play like a team that's been relegated without a care in the world.
Yeah, exactly. But they need to do that.
Turn out a result somewhere.
Yeah, they'll do something big. They're going to draw or they're going to take points from one of the teams fighting for the top four. And that's what's going to cost it for one of them teams. That happens every season, you know. I mean, West Brom have already done it with Chelsea. They beat us 5-2. That shouldn't have happened when you think about it, you know. But that's where they done it. And then they've just played this past weekend. Obviously, you said, no, they're not going to beat Southampton. You went for a 2-0 Southampton win and laughed at me when I said West Brom would win 2-1. They ended up winning. They battered Southampton, you know.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And they're going to continue that possibly with this next game that I've got them playing, but not in this next one. Obviously, it's Arsenal-Fulham next. And I've gone for a 2-1 Arsenal home win. What have you gone?
I've gone 2-0 Arsenal. I don't think Fulham score.
You don't think they score? But talking about West Brom, I know it's Burnley. Sorry, where are West Brom? I don't know where they are. Don't feel actually playing in this this set of 10.
I haven't got them down.
I don't feel.
I haven't got them
thought
down.
This says Man U Brom, but it says Man U Burnley. That's I would have had West Brom to win 6-2. But Manchester United, Burnley, I'm going for a 3-1 Manchester United win. I think Burnley get a goal.
I've gone 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
To Man United, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Being such a big,
that is true.
Being such a big Sean Dyche fan, no one ever knows who you have. Next
up,
I
do love him. I hope he does win.
A Leeds team that have just come off the back of a 2-1 victory against Man City with 10 men. They're now playing Liverpool. What are you saying?
It was a FIFA game, wasn't it? Really,
it was.
I've gone 2-2. I think that momentum's with Leeds, and I think Liverpool win tonight as well. So I think they'll take that into. I don't know what the score is, but
I'll have a quick look. To be fair.
I think 2-2. I think that momentum's with Leeds. I think Liverpool will. I hope they're winning because.
Well, actually, I'm just looking now, and as things stand, Borussia Dortmund are 1-0 up against Man City. Your main man, Jude Bellingham, with the goal that he fully deserved. And Liverpool are currently still 0-0 against Real Madrid just before half-time. Sorry, everyone that's listening to the podcast. You would have seen the matches and seen the results, but Harvey needed to know. But yeah, I've gone 3-2 Liverpool. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game like earlier in the season, but I think Liverpool are going to need to pick up some results. And I've gone 3-2. Yeah. Next up, it is the main team on this podcast. It's Chelsea Football Club.
I thought you were going about the Seagulls.
Against Brighton, I've gone 4-1 Chelsea.
4-1?
Yeah, I think we're starting to score goals. Mate, we're conceding because we're just going for goals now. Brighton, do you know what? I'll go 4-0, Half. Thanks for changing my mind. I'll go 4-0. 4-0. If it ends 4-1, I'm taking 2 points, yeah? I'm putting an asterisk. If it ends 4-1, I'm taking 2 points.
All right. I've gone 3-0 Chelsea. 3-0. I don't think Brighton score. So
well, if they do and it ends 4-1, I'm taking an extra point because you stopped me from getting 3, okay? That's only if it ends 4-1.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Next up, the Dirty Spurs against Southampton. Southampton with their second game in this game week. Yeah, I think and obviously Spurs as well. I think they lose 3-0 Southampton. I think it's 3-0 home win.
I thought you were going to say Spurs then. No, I've gone 2-1. 2-1 Spurs. I don't.
Spurs, 3-1 Southampton. Yeah. 3-0 Spurs to me. 2-1 Spurs. And then the final game that we're doing next Wednesday, it's Aston Villa against Manchester City. Don't know what
3-0 City.
3-0
City. 3-0 City.
I've gone 3-1 City. So I think Aston Villa get a goal. You've gone 3-0, and that ends that Prem score predictor. Now, I know this episode's been a bit longer, and we haven't really got a who versus who this week, but we have. It's not really, they're players, but they're not players now. But I don't want you to think of them as players, right? I want you to think of them as pundits. They're the two men that make Monday Night Football so entertaining in my eyes, and I absolutely love listening to them both. It's Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, right? But I don't want you to think of them as footballers. I want you to think of them only as pundits. Take away whatever controversy
Gary Neville
we've been through. Yeah, Gary Neville.
Yeah, easy. Really, really easy. His analysis into he's still got that Manchester United mentality of how of you should win and this is how you do your job.
Yeah.
And that comes across in his analysis of when he breaks things down and shows you where players should be and what they should see. And for me, that it's really good to watch. When I was coaching, that was something that I'd really look out for his analysis on defending and stuff like that.
You didn't take anything from his Valencia management days, though, did you? Because
that was probably no. I probably had a better team, to be honest. But that obviously didn't go to plan. But when you look at him break it down and the way he spoke 100%. About it was easy for anyone to understand, and then it was good for people that were wanting to learn. It was just sort of good for everybody, and I Jamie Carragher's obviously really good. He's obviously played at the highest level as well. But there's something extra to Gary Neville's analysis for me.
I think I agree that. I love watching his analysis, but as a duo, I don't think I think they're up there with the likes of the Soccer Saturday boys and Chris Kamara being thrown in there as well. I just think the banter that they have is incredible. Watching both. The jokes they throw each other's way, and recently they both spoke about their own under 23, their own Euros squads that they'd take, their own 23-man squad, and that was absolutely hilarious.
It carried on in the car park. I don't know if you see the video.
Yeah, I have. It's so funny the way that Gary Neville spoke so long about not taking Trent and why he shouldn't go and how poor he's been this season, just to drop him in his team and be like, yeah, but he's Trent, he's world class, and Jerry carries it back. And then what?
He's just argued why he shouldn't go.
And, and I think I'm a big fan of them both, and I think they're both quality. And I know obviously there was that controversy with Jamie Carragher last year and what he did, spitting at someone, but I think he was being abused. He just had a bad day. Liverpool had lost, hadn't they, to Man U, I think. And the last thing he wants to do is be driving home and have some Man U fan driving, video record and be like, oi, Calla, you lost to Man U. You know, he was livid, and it's a moment of stupidity. He apologised, and I think the guy's quality. I think whatever happened, you know, when Liverpool won the Champions League, like the Klopp thing, he was out there in Istanbul. Was it in Istanbul? Where was it? Madrid? Where was the Champions League win? Sorry,
I can't remember. I feel like it was Madrid. It's going to be Istanbul this year if they make it again.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Either way, when they got to the Champions League final that year and they won it, there's so many so much video footage of Carra celebrating with the Liverpool fans in the official Liverpool tent, absolutely plastered.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, can I have a picture? And he's like, yeah, but I'm completely wasted. So like everyone's got these selfies with Carra, like,
plastered. Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, but for me it would be Gary Neville as a pundit. Just his analysis is so good to listen to, and you could almost feel like you could play after listening to him break it down. I feel just how good a pundit I think he is with his analysis and stuff like that. Yeah, really good.
Shall we do our little fun fact, shall we? Mine's a little quiz fun fact, yeah?
Ooh, go on.
And I want you to guess who this player is.
Ooh, yeah.
While playing for, I won't say the team. In 2013, this player became the first ever player to score in 7 different competitions in just one season, right? Major competitions, one single season, not one year, one footballing season. Because if it was a year, obviously, you could transfer to a different country. So he scored in the Premier League, scored in the Champions League. That team was subsequently knocked out of the Champions League, so he scored in the Europa League. He scored in the Community Shield. He scored in the FA Cup. He scored in the League Cup. And because that team actually won the Champions League the year before, he scored in the Club World Cup as well. So he played for a team that won the Champions League.
So it's a Chelsea player, isn't it?
It's obviously a Chelsea player because we won the Champions League and we thought we don't want to win it back to back. We'll get knocked out and go win the Europa League. This is what we've done. Yeah, that's right. We're the only team in history to win the Champions League, followed by the Europa League. No one's ever going to do that because no one's going to be that bad to win the Champions League.
That's poor.
But who do you think that player is in 2013?
I can't remember.
Come on, you can get this.
I'm trying to think. You've had so many really good strikers that this could be,
and this guy's the best.
I can't think. If that's the case, I think it might be Drogba, but
no, it's Torres.
I was going to start. That was my next guess. I was trying to think if he was there at that time. If he was there at that time, it would have been Torres. Yeah, and I couldn't think when he moved to you.
Won the Champions League with Chelsea, didn't he? Won the Euros for Spain when he was at Chelsea. Got the Golden Boot. What did he do at Liverpool? Nothing. They're trash.
Yeah.
But Fernando Torres, after taking that ball around Victor Valdez and scoring in the semi-final against Barcelona, legend status straight away for Chelsea, regardless of what he did. I love the guy. I've got a Fernando Torres jersey, so I've got a Chelsea Fernando Torres shirt. I might wear that next week. Don't have a Drogba one, so that's a bit.
Have you not got a Drogba one?
I've got a Shevchenko and a Torres one, two of the biggest flops ever. People.
How have you not got? One. Oh my God, I feel bad for you. How have you not got a Drogba one? It's like your greatest striker ever.
He is our greatest striker ever.
Yeah.
What about yourself, mate?
Yeah, fun fact for if you can, go for this far back. 2010, the big World Cup. If you remember the annoying musical instruments from that World Cup,
Vuvuzelas,
they were annoying. But there was one team in that World Cup that actually went undefeated.
Wales, wasn't it?
No,
Iceland.
not Wales.
Iceland.
No.
Who was it?
Two letter.
I know this.
Two
South Africa.
Two letter. No. But
New Zealand.
2 worded. Yes, that is the one.
I knew
They drew
somewhere. They drew
all
the games, didn't they?
All three group games, but then obviously got knocked out because they didn't qualify with enough points.
Yeah.
Spain, who actually won it, lost 1-0 to Switzerland in the opening group game.
I remember.
So New Zealand were the only team to go unbeaten.
I was just out there saying loads of names. One more fun fact about the 2010 World Cup. Who scored the first goal?
Tishy.
Yeah, Shabalala.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it was a left-footed. It was on the break, left-footed strike on the left-hand side of the pitch. Broke down. Used a bit of pace and then hammered it in. Yeah. Really. I don't know how I've remembered that goal and how it broke away and gone down the left-hand side.
That's our football knowledge, mate.
Yeah. It was. He smacked it as well. If I remember rightly, it was quite a strike.
They brought out that celebration that they done where all the South African players were like.
It was.
It was decent. It was decent.
Yeah,
Probably
did
one
like
of my
that.
favourite World Cups. That just especially for the Jabalani ball and the Vuvuzela. I love the Vuvuzela. I bought one.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was walking to the pub. I was walking to the pub every England game with my Vuvuzela and my flag around my neck. Right.
That ball's up there for me. One of the great. That was a great World Cup ball.
Yeah. The amount of
but the 2002.
Just
2002 World Cup
ball. Keepers that were complaining about it. So
2 round, ball 2 round.
Ball 2 round. Mate, shut up and just get in the way of it then.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, mate. Honestly, try if you what the modern goalkeeper. If anyone's interested in seeing what a ball can do in terms of what a professional keeper will see from behind the goal, unbelievable footage. I think his name's Lee. He's played professionally, and they do coaching stuff for goalkeepers, and put like myths to bed. They put they'll show you what actually happens from a goalkeeper's perspective. You see people go, shouldn't be beating at your near post. Keepers don't want to be beaten anywhere, let alone your near post. They don't care whether it's your near post, far post, whatever. But you'll see some great footage of what you see from a knuckleball and stuff like that. And just to watch, and you don't always see it on TV. And I've done it before, and I've gone, how's he not saved that? And then you see the picture, and the ball's gone like that, shot off that way, and come back down. You think, I'm looking up there, and the ball's down there somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's great stuff, and check them out. They're really good for that sort of thing. But ball 2 round, I do remember that. That ball was quality. Also, 2002 World Cup ball.
There's been some beautiful footballs in the past, hasn't there?
Yeah.
I'm sure another episode, maybe next week actually. Why don't we talk about
your favourite balls out?
Maybe talk about our favourite kits or something and something like that. Maybe talk about what our favourite kits are from other teams and stuff like that. We've got a few.
It'd be great to get some topics off the listeners as well. I think, in the comments
and
the
stuff.
Listeners
maybe give us some topics. We don't mind if someone wants to be a guest. We'd love to have more guests on. We've had one. We've had our friend Deck come on. We'd love more people to come on and talk about football. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll catch you all next week. And it's been a good episode, I think, Harv. It's been good.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Got to go get ready for work tomorrow.
Right. I'll see you all in a bit. Cheers for listening.
See you in a bit.